Hey G-Fans, GojiFan93 here, and welcome to another movie review. In this video, I am finally going to be getting to 10 Cloverfield Lane. So, yes, alright, this movie, this just out of nowhere movie that 3 months ago they came out with the trailer and everyone was like, whoa, is this going to be a sequel to Cloverfield, or is this like its own thing, and oh my god. And before you guys start typing in the comments and all that stuff, I made my post on Facebook after seeing the movie that I have a lot of questions actually for this film, and a lot of you guys were thinking that that was a negative comment, that I don't like the film, and a lot of you guys were saying like, well, it's not a sequel, or if you were expecting a monster in it, then you're going to be heavily disappointed. It's like, no, I knew that going into the film, and I also stayed away from a lot of reviews, and I went into this film with an open mind and saying, okay, well, let's see what this is going to be. But I still have many questions because of the fact that it is from J.J. Abrams, which is the producer, and just the way that the movie's poster looks, it has the same kind of color scheme, it has that greenish kind of style to it. I mean, there has to be some connection with the first Cloverfield movie back in 2008 and this one. Now yes, it's definitely not a sequel. I'm going to say that right now. It's not a sequel. It might not even be in the same continuity or anything like that, but I still think that there's some kind of connection, because it doesn't make any sense that these would be just completely different movies. You know, I mean, he used the word Cloverfield in the title. Now I understand back in 2008 when Cloverfield was released that wasn't even really initially the first title. That was just a code name for the movie, but then they decided to roll with it for some reason and actually call it Cloverfield. But since that was established there, and a lot of people know that, J.J. Abrams is smart. This is the way he does things. He's very like sneaky with his movies like this. So I'm thinking that there's some kind of connection, but maybe we'll delve into that at the end of the review. But for right now, I just want to go over like well, not really a quick synopsis, but basically just what I thought of the movie. Now, I liked the movie. One thing though I would say is that I wouldn't really consider reviewing a movie like this on this channel, because after watching it, this movie it doesn't have any kaiju, it doesn't have any kind of monster related things to it. I mean, it does have something, but we'll get to that later in the spoiler segment of this review. Right now I'm just doing non-spoilers. And so yeah, it's kind of weird to review a movie like this when it really doesn't have anything to do with my channel. But it has the Cloverfield name and you guys wanted me to review it, so here we go. One thing I will say is I did love the cast. The characters of this movie were really good. The acting was spot on. John Goodman's character in particular, I really enjoyed his character. He must have had a lot of fun with this role for some reason, because every line of dialogue that he said was just so realistic and natural, and it's just the way his character was so cool. And the other characters were really good as well. The lead character, I don't remember her name, I don't remember the actress, but she was really good as well. She was a very strong protagonist. She could take care of herself. She was a, you know, no BS kind of person. That was really nice. And then the third character, which was this other guy, which I think that there was going to be some kind of love interest with that, but once we get into spoiler territory, you'll see why that didn't turn out good for them. But and overall the story was interesting. It kept me engaged throughout the whole movie. I was always wondering what was going to happen next, and there was a lot of parts that were unpredictable, and I really enjoyed that. But then when the climax hit, that's where the movie started to fall off for me. That's when I didn't really care for it as much. Everything else, the build-up and all of that, the rising action, it was really good. And then once the climax happened, I was like, oh man, they're going that way, like they're going that direction. It just kind of bleh. I did like the movie though. Overall, I really thought that it was a really good movie. There really isn't too many things that I can say that are bad, except for the climax. We'll get to that. Yeah, it was really good. Now I'm gonna get into a little bit of some spoiler territory, so if you don't want to see this, skip ahead to if I post at a time maybe or something like that. But basically what the climax was is she ends up finding out that John Goodman's character is kind of a maniac. He's kind of crazy. He had a daughter, but like he lied to her that it was like this picture that he had of her, but it was actually a girl that he murdered or something like that. It's kind of, like I said, it's an elaborate story set up for something that's not really that good of a payoff. And so he ends up dying. A lot of stuff happens. I don't really want to explain everything because I want you guys to still see the movie. She ends up escaping. That's basically, this is what happens. She ends up escaping the house. She gets out and she realizes she's wearing this like makeshift hazard suit. So she ends up taking off the gas mask and she's like, oh, I can breathe, because she sees birds flying in the air and she's like, oh, okay, well, if birds are here, then it must be okay. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, this like alien spaceship just comes out of nowhere and just shows up. And I'm like, huh? Like, aliens? Like, what is this? And then she gets attacked by this like weird looking snail, or not snail, but like snake looking dog like alien thing with like a weird alien kind of style like mouth. Like, it has a mouth, but then it has like another mouth coming through it. It's really weird. And it ends up attacking her. She, ends up trying to outrun it and all this good stuff. And it's like, then all of a sudden this huge mothership just shows up. And she's in this truck trying to hide from this alien thing. And it grabs her and it takes her up. And this huge alien ship has like a mouth in the middle of it. And it's gonna like eat her or something. And this is the part that I really didn't like, because you go from this ultra realistic like setting where it's like they're all in the bunker and it's intense. The thrill is there. This is a good thriller movie. All of a sudden she becomes Superwoman and she grabs a Molotov, a lighter, grabs some paper while the alien is like lifting her up in the slowest fashion. She grabs it, she puts it on fire, sticks it in, she makes a Molotov cocktail. She goes out of her car, like gets out of the car and just, I just don't understand how this is real. She throws it directly into the mouth of the ship and blows the whole shit up. Anyways, and I'm like, what? Like, how? Like, if that was me in that, the best I could do is probably throw it and it would bounce off the mothership and then I'd be dead. But like, no, she one shot hit. She just throws it and it's perfectly accurate and goes directly into the mouth. Like, not even hits the side of the mouth or anything, directly into this like it's like Luke Skywalker in the Death Star shooting the torpedo into the little like 2-meter hole thing of the Death Star. It's just like, how do you even, and she wasn't even a Jedi, so it's like, I mean, I don't know. That part was really crazy. And then she ends up finding out that like it's just an alien invasion, and like she goes towards, I think it was Houston, wherever, and she drives off, and then credits. So as you can tell, I have a lot of questions, because I'm like, okay, so like now we're dealing with an alien invasion story. Well, that took all of the crazy fun stuff out of the Cloverfield mythology and stuff. I mean, maybe J.J. Abrams is wanting to make an anthology series, kind of like what it was with Halloween, where they did Halloween 1 and 2 with Mike Myers, and then they did Halloween 3, but Halloween 3 didn't have anything to do with Mike Myers. It was something different. But because of all the fan outcry of saying, like, where's Mike Myers, they kind of just continued it with Mike Myers and kind of discontinued the anthology idea. So maybe that's the thing with Cloverfield. Maybe it's like every movie's going to have the word Cloverfield in it, but it's going to be related to something different. I don't know. Like, the first one was Cloverfield. Second one was 10 Cloverfield Lane. The third one will be like, I don't know, Highway Cloverfield, and there'll be some kind of extraterrestrial sci-fi thing happening on the highway of some place. I don't know. My thing is I'm wondering if this movie, like, how it can connect to the original Cloverfield is, okay, if it's an alien invasion, maybe, if you guys remember at the end of the original Cloverfield movie, that when you're watching the tape, like when the credits are rolling, and then you can see like the characters are on the I forgot what they were called, but they're on like the amusement park ride, and in the background you see like something fall from the sky and land into the water, and we assume that was the Cloverfield monster. So maybe he's an alien, and that was an alien sent down from them as like maybe something to soften up the heat. But it makes no sense that it would only happen in New York, because as far as I remember in Cloverfield, it was only in New York. It was only a contained issue. It wasn't like a worldwide phenomenon. It seems like with 10 Cloverfield Lane that this was a worldwide alien attack. But I don't know. There's a lot of questions, and maybe you guys can post in the comments, like, helping me out of explaining that maybe that if there is some kind of connection, or maybe this movie just has zero connection with the original Cloverfield, and that's fine. Once again, it just kind of seems weird that I'm reviewing a movie like this then, because it has really nothing to do with the monster or anything like that. But overall, I really did enjoy the movie. I thought it was really good. It's a good thriller movie. It's not a monster movie or anything like that, so once again, it's just kind of weird to review a movie like this, but, you know, whatever. And yeah, so I highly recommend you guys to see it, especially if you are a fan of the old one, and if you are a fan of J.J. Abrams, because I'm a fan of J.J. Abrams. I like him as a producer and a director. I think he is a very talented person, so definitely go see the movie. It's really good. It's just that climax part, just I mean, all this build up for just, oh, it's an alien invasion. Yay! So, okay guys, well, that's it for me for this review, so I hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks for watching, and as always, stay big, G fans.